Welcome, Sagittarius. And I can say that because I'm a Sagittarius. With love, we're using the Ethereal Visions, Illuminated Tarot. And I'm going to be clarifying with the Clipped Art deck, if need be. Probably will be. And I don't use this for readings yet, but it's a beautiful deck. It's very evocative. I'm wordy as it is. If I did readings with this, a 3-card reading could take an hour. There's just so much there. But right now, what we're going to concentrate on, Sagittarius, is the end of August, second half of August heart spread. This is your love reading for whoever's on your mind, whoever's in your heart. See, this is going to pick up on, if you're single, this can be a singles reading, and the number 2 position, which represents the other, much like the first house is you, and the 7th house is the relationship house, represents that other. So it can be your person coming in. So just intuit it that way as we go along, and we'll be talking about, instead of the person you're dealing with already, this means a lot, the High Priestess. I knew it was here. I'll take a minute. I knew it was here because I went through my deck and put all my cards by now, put them together, and it was there. But I hadn't seen this in weeks and weeks. And as I woke up in the morning, like from a dream, thinking of the High Priestess about over a week ago, and ever since I realized I hadn't seen her in like a week, and I've been doing a lot of readings, and then I hadn't seen her. It's been over a week now. Finally, she pops out. I'm not going to take her because I'm Venus and Scorpio. Yeah, ghost me, bitch. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I get it. What intuition. Really, for me, it's like trusting. That's what tarot's all about. Trusting that we are getting information, and if it resonates, that's we have our own, not only our mind, our heart and soul, the intuition that goes into all of this. So, in the name of light and love, so it serves the greatest good spirit, what can you tell us here about our Sagittarius and their love interest? 2 of Wands. Beautiful cards in this deck. I say with this 2 of Wands, he's not on the ground with his little backpack and sunrise and with the 2 paths stretching off in front of him. When I see that, the classic one, I've been a backpacker all my life until 2008, but that just looked fantastic to me. Like there's nothing at all negative about it, and it's like, oh, look, you get to take one of 2 courses of action. But this card is more contemplative. In this deck, you see this a lot, softer. It's like he's still up on the castle turret, and he's looking down there, really at the shoreline, It's like contemplating a decision. And this would be a decision that's not just you change your mind, and it's like, yeah, now you think it's okay to take a knee, and before you thought it wasn't. I say that because it's the world, but it's not like that kind of decision. It's just some action that you have to take. But to me, it's like you're really not really sure what to do with this card. Really thinking here. This guy's like, he's not really looking at him. He's kind of looking down. It's like when you're standing there and you're not really searching the horizon for some ship to come in. This is not the 3 of Wands. That would be the 3 of Wands. This is like contemplating this decision, Sag. So that's the energy you have in and around relationships as you come into this heart spread. And then we don't want to pull from the bottom, Spirit, thank you. And then the 9 of Pentacles. Now your person comes in with 9 of Pentacles energy, which is very nice energy to have in terms of heart spread to come in. They're someone that's, and they're kind of looking, they're looking down at their garden and also kind of looking away from the reading. And then also you are looking down and away from the reading. So I just had mentioned ghosted, about kind of kidding around. kind of, but not really, Pisces energy. But the Nine of Pentacles looks like they're so self-sufficient. They're tending to their grapes, their bounty, their harvest. They don't really look like they're too much interested in a love relationship here. Doesn't scream that to me. And there's you with your shoulders and back kind of strongly turned to this person too, as the reading's showing, right? What's going on, Sags, with this one? Now, either that one's looking back towards you. So now in the relationship, it's like the Page of Swords. This is where you're reacting to your person, Sagittarius, the person you're thinking of. And the way in which you're reacting to them is this Page of Swords. I get the feeling, and even that's kind of looking back and looking down. Making careful. This is kind of not typically like a Sagittarius. I'm a Scorpio Venus. It'd be like me because it's very Scorpio. And I know that's not air, but this could point to air energy in your chart. But I don't think so. This is about how you're choosing to react to them. And I think it is air, and it is about questions and also thoughts. And I don't sense that you distrust them. It's like you pages are sincere. You very sincerely want to understand something about them. But you feel like it's difficult to do. You think it's a difficult thing to do. Like, you know it's a difficult thing to do. It's like you maybe know that other people have tried to understand them. Maybe you're a man and this is a woman. Bad joke. And you know you can never understand them because that's the nature of things. But this is, I feel like, kind of probing too, this energy of asking probing questions a little bit. Yeah. Let me see what your person's energy is. Now this is their response. And look, 9. 2 9s with your person. 9 9. So they're coming in. 9 of Pentacles. Very solid. Not really needing a relationship. Not maybe wanting one. I don't even know how you met them. Certainly wasn't a dating site. Now once they're in the relationship, to meet your Page of Swords, they have a 9 of Swords. Now you could be triggering each other, like which comes first, the chicken or the egg. But Sagittarius, you know, I'm a Sagittarius. This is exactly the energy of us stabbing someone and not even meaning to. We can really do that. It's just saying something, what comes on our mind. We really don't, we're not usually the types to be like vicious. We don't mean it to be that way, but it could be, it's like a little kid. You're really fat, mister. It's like, oh, you know how they are, right? And now your person, to go from the 9 of Pentacles to the 9 of Swords, okay? If I'm talking to the cross watcher, then just know. I mean, I almost can't imagine going from a 9 of Pentacles, and now this is in response to the Sagittarius, to then go into this 9 of Swords energy. And I do like to see this as response to the person. This is your person's response to you, Sag. This is your response to them. Now, in neither case is it very loving. The Page of Swords can show some interest. Could also be like, hey, I'd like to get to know you. Can I talk to you? And maybe you asked some pointed questions, and then maybe you said something, and it really hurt them. And look at these, if you can see the ghost. This really depicts well this 9 of Swords energy, where it's all in the head. But you triggered the fuck out of them, Sagittarius. That's how that is. You triggered all fuck out of them, really. So let's see what your advice is, Sag, in the relationship. This is your advice from Spirit. Wow. In the relationship. You know, this is not a challenge. This is your advice. I'm kind of feeling this, seeing that you're starting with the Two of Wands, where you're kind of not sure to start with, you know, and you're kind of wondering. As advice from Spirit, and this is coming under the Page of Swords, it's, you know, take action, like less talk and more action is what that's about. And because, you know, it's not like a Sagittarius to do this here. This is trying to find out information, trying to pre-plan, trying to really find out as much as you can, you know, about the person. It kind of comes from a position of fear, and usually this is Sagittarius energy, 10 of Wands here. This is just pouring it on, just giving it everything you got. Now let's look at your person's advice. Wow, Ace of Swords. Very interesting, because I see a relationship now developing out of a very bad beginning here. Got to see how we get here. There's a possibility, because now your person's advice, and this could be seen two ways. This could be the advice from Spirit as you cut them the fuck off. You cut the Sagittarius off at the knees. Now, another way to look at the Ace of Swords when it comes underneath the Nine of Swords, besides that, the most obvious way, is setting boundaries and stating the truth yourself. That's kind of a response. This is like to the Page of Swords. This is like somebody's a little bitchy, and then in response you like eat their head off. You know, it's like, oh, you give me bitchy, well, and then like they realize there's a command to this, a taking command, which really suits a Nine of Pentacles person here. And Sagittarius, I see you almost like floating around in just fire and air, and this person is solid here. You triggered them. My question is, let's see if I can get a clarifier. But you may know the answer to this, you may not. I mean, Sagittarius, it's like one of those things, especially God help your guy. You could be like, why does she cry? Dawn, what the hell did I say? You know, like probably really obvious to anyone else. But nevertheless, you know, your advice here is to pour it on. And this is why I say, you know, it's advice from Spirit to pour it on. You know, if it wasn't going to work, I don't know if Spirit would advise you to pour it on. They would advise you to not pour it on. They would advise you something else, Five of Pentacles, or, you know, something like this, Two of Pentacles, or so this Ace of Swords could be them reacting like you really pour. And when I say really pour it on, I mean it's like you get it, you take action, you go and say, oh my God, I really didn't know what I was saying, I didn't put it all together, and I get it now how badly I hurt you, and it was unintentional, and I really want to make it up to you, and you know, apologizing your ass off is what that is. And then this could be them accepting the apology. You know, let me get a clarifier now. What I just say about the Two of Pentacles. I'm trying to get an idea of how this interaction is going to be, of the you're being advised to pour it on, and them being advised to bring the sword down on the situation, and that's the Two of Pentacles. So I do think you guys reach some kind of balance here. And with the Two of Pentacles, it's very good. And particularly for them, I see this person, Sag, having the power in this relationship, like it or not. And they're literally, this could be them with the Ace of Swords, is, you know, basically them saying like, you know, I have the power in this relationship, making it clear to you. And you're willing to knock yourself out for them, which is like a Sag, if you're attracted to them. You know, and let me see what the advice is for the relationship as a whole, guys. There's my High Priestess showing up. Thank you, Spirit. This is the advice for the relationship as a whole. Look at her, how beautiful. You know, kind of young, but the power that's in the High Priestess here. And it's a beautiful energy to have between something like the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Wands. They're both kind of difficult energy, strong energy. This is seeing everything in terms of compassion and intuitive wisdom, you know, seeing the soul's journey, seeing in a mean person their fear, their anger, their history, and having this understanding. Look, she's kind of above. She stands kind of above the world. You know, having this kind of strong intuitive understanding of life itself. You know, like a mechanic hears something in a car and it knows what the problem is. You know, that's she can tell your past just by the way you're acting now. It just puts everything together. And this is the energy in your relationship of going down to the deepest level. I think that whatever a Sag said to your person here, Sag, cross-watcher, if you're there, I'd love to have someone comment. It was the truth. I think that's what you're getting back to here. It was the truth. Like, you might come back to the Sag and say, you know, you're a dick for saying it the way you did, but it was the truth, and it made me really think. And then this is where you do your thing, where it's just got to be all fire and all sincere, basically begging for mercy and apologizing and meaning it, and just them seeing how you really are responding in a real and genuine way to what happened, shows them that you do care about them and the interaction. And the High Priestess being here is all kinds of reassurance. It's both of you moving into your higher self, reaching into the intuitive level, into the deep icy areas of your chart, and where you're being vulnerable with each other, being open with each other, being real. Okay, now the outcome, the Magician. Now this is amazing. Now the first 6 cards are kind of Synastry. These two with the advice and now the outcome is kind of look to me like the composite chart, where you're seeing together. This is the advice for the couple and the outcome for the couple. Now you tell me how that couldn't be a couple that could do anything. Like a couple who's stronger together than they are apart. And you're stronger together because you have the Magician's ability together. You know, the Magician has everything, has emotions together, has enough resources, has the passion, has the wisdom and intelligence, you know, all of the 4 elements. And maybe one of you has 2 and the other has the other 2. I mean, you could read twin flame into this. I could read people working together, even working together in something esoteric, you know, in some manner. It really reads that way. And it says that I think that whatever the Sagittarius said to you, I had the sense that it wasn't that bad, meaning it was for a reason. It really kind of, you know, it's the Lionsgate energy right now, the Uranus square Saturn, things are breaking up, it's a big picture time, hitting a lot of people, and they may have just hit you just right. And after you had time to think about it, and kind of stay up all night thinking about it, you maybe came to some conclusions. Again, not unusual for this time. And you guys end up in a relationship that I would say is kind of magical, where you have the ability, you realize, to kind of manifest too. This is a manifestor card. So maybe you realize that, gosh, now we're together, we need to really focus on what do we want to do as a couple, because we can manifest anything we want. Sagittarius, what I get out of that. Thank you guys. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it if you join the channel. I don't even think I needed to clarify. That was a very clear reading, really. Let me just say, yeah, subscribe. We appreciate it. I want to get to 1,000 so I can go live.